American Idol rejected her 7 times. She never made it past the first round. For 3 years, she lived in a flooded camper and sometimes had to shower with a water hose. A decade later, Lainey Wilson became the first woman since Taylor Swift to win CMA Entertainer of the Year. It is one of those stories that sounds impossible until you realize how long she was willing to stay in the fight. Lainey Wilson was 19 years old when she stood in line at an American Idol audition, waiting for hours with thousands of other hopefuls, and believing this might be the moment everything changed. It wasn't. She didn't make it through the first round, so she tried again and again. 7 times in total, she auditioned. 7 times, she was rejected. She never even made it far enough to sing for the celebrity judges. The Voice turned her down too. At that point, it would have been easy to believe what the industry kept implying, that maybe she just didn't have what they were looking for. But Lainey kept hearing the same criticism everywhere she went, and none of it convinced her to change who she was. People in Nashville told her she was too country for country. Her twang was too thick. Her sound didn't fit the market. Some even told her to go back to Louisiana. She didn't listen because she believed something they didn't. At a time when pop-infused country dominated the radio, Lainey was convinced that real country music was not dead. The audience was still there. They were still hungry for something honest. Someone just had to be brave enough to give it to them. So she bought a 20-foot Flagstaff camper trailer for $2,000, hooked it up to her truck, and drove from Baskin, Louisiana to Nashville, Tennessee. She came from a town of about 250 people. Her father was a farmer, her mother was a school teacher, and she had been writing songs since she was 9 years old. She was not arriving in Nashville with industry connections or a polished machine behind her. She was arriving with instinct, songs, and the kind of stubbornness that only matters if you can hold on to it for years. When she got to Nashville, she parked that camper in the lot of a recording studio owned by Jerry Cupid, a man who had known her grandfather. He let her borrow electricity, water, and Wi-Fi just so she could get by. That camper became her home for the next 3 years, and it was rough. The winters were miserable. She slept in multiple jackets and layers of socks and still froze when the furnace could not keep up. Then the propane tank ran out. Then the shower head broke. Then the floor started rotting after the whole trailer flooded. At one point, she was standing in ankle-deep water, using a hose to shower in a parking lot in Nashville. Most people would have taken that as a sign to leave. Lainey took it as part of the process. She walked up and down Music Row, handing out CDs and demos to anyone who would take one. Most of the time, nothing came from it. Door after door closed. Rejection after rejection piled up. No publishing deal, no record deal, no real industry momentum. And this did not go on for a few frustrating months. It went on for years. To survive, she took every gig she could get. During the day, she performed as Hannah Montana at children's parties. At night, she played her own songs at open mics. People started calling her the camper trailer girl, and it was not meant as a compliment. But she was not in Nashville to be comfortable. She was there to be heard. Then, in 2014, everything seemed to break at once. Her mentor, Jerry Cupid, died. He was from Baskin too, and he had been one of the few people who believed in her from the beginning. He had produced her first recordings, given her a place to stay, and made Nashville feel just a little less impossible. Losing him hit hard. Around the same time, she found out her boyfriend had been cheating on her and had gotten another woman pregnant. It was a brutal season, but instead of shutting down, she poured all of it into the work. She wrote constantly, hundreds of songs. By her own account, at least 300. She took heartbreak, frustration, loneliness, and uncertainty and turned them into notebooks full of lyrics and recording sessions full of raw material. She released one album in 2014 and another in 2016, but neither gave her the breakthrough she had been chasing. The industry still kept telling her the same thing. She was not pop enough for modern country. In 2018, she signed a publishing deal, and later she signed a record deal with BBR Music Group. Even then, things did not instantly click. She was moving, yes, but not yet in the way she had dreamed. Then something shifted. Taylor Sheridan, the creator of Yellowstone, heard her music and wanted to use it in the show. Starting in 2019, her songs began appearing in episodes, and suddenly millions of people were hearing Lainey Wilson for the first time. It was the kind of exposure most artists wait years for and never get. Then Sheridan called again in 2022, this time with a bigger idea. He wanted to create a role specifically for her. He told her he wanted her on the show. She had never acted before, and it scared her. But Lainey has said she loves doing things that scare her because those are usually the moments that force growth. So she stepped into the role of Abby, a country singer, which was not exactly a stretch from real life, but still demanded something new from her. And just when her career was finally taking off, life hit her again. In July 2022, her father, Brian Wilson, was hospitalized with a fungal infection that nearly killed him. He went through 9 surgeries in a single month, lost his left eye, had parts of his face removed, and suffered a stroke on top of everything else. Lainey wanted to quit the show and go home to take care of him. Her father told her not to. He told her to keep going, to finish what she had started, and she listened. That decision mattered, because by September 2021, 10 years and 1 day after she had arrived in Nashville, her single, Things a Man Oughta Know, reached #1 on the country airplay chart. 10 years and 1 day after all the rejection, all the waiting, all the doubt, the breakthrough finally came on almost the exact timeline nobody would have had the patience to survive. And once it came, it did not stop there. Heart Like a Truck kept the momentum going. Watermelon, Moonshine followed. Wait in the Truck with Hardy went double platinum. The artist Nashville, once dismissed as too twangy, too traditional, and too country, was suddenly becoming one of the biggest names in the format. Then came the awards. In November 2023, Lainey Wilson was nominated for 5 CMA awards and won all 5, including the biggest one of the night, Entertainer of the Year. She became the first woman to take that award home since Taylor Swift in 2011. Standing at the podium through tears, she said, "This is all I've ever wanted to do. It's the only thing I know how to do. It finally feels like country music is starting to love me back." In February 2024, she won her first Grammy for Best Country Album with Bell Bottom Country. In May 2024, she opened Bell Bottoms Up, a 3-story bar, Cajun restaurant, and music venue in downtown Nashville. The following month, she was inducted into the Grand Ole Opry, a moment she has described as one of the most meaningful of her career. And she kept building. By November 2025, she had won 3 more CMA awards, including Entertainer of the Year again, Album of the Year for Whirlwind, and Female Vocalist of the Year for the 4th time. She had become not just a star, but one of the defining faces of modern country music. Today, Lainey Wilson has stacked up major awards, built a massive audience, and carved out a place for herself in an industry that initially had no idea what to do with her. She is engaged to former NFL quarterback Duck Hodges, performed 102 shows in 2024, and has turned the voice people once said was too country into one of the most recognizable sounds in Nashville. And that is what makes her story so powerful. Lainey Wilson proved rejection means nothing when you keep going. Thank you for watching till the end. Follow us for more inspiring comeback stories like this.